fire Pokemon are definitely getting the support in Dragonstorm, that's for sure. If you are a usual subscriber to this channel, welcome back. If you are new to this channel, I am Spartan Strike. I do focus on Pokemon TCG, whether it be in real life or online, and I will eventually broaden it into other Pokemon related content. Now, the two cards that you're looking at right here are some of the new fire cards, fire Pokemon that are going to come from the SM6A Dragonstorm, which comes out in April for Japan, and I think August for us. I don't think there's been an official announcement for it, but most likely it will be in our August expansion. Now there's three cards actually I'm going to talk about this video, and I'm not quite sure where to begin. I think I'm actually going to talk about Victini first, and then I'm going to talk about a Reshiram, and then the other item card, because the other two cards go very well together, and you'll know what I'm talking about once I actually talk about it. But first, let's look at the new Prism Pokemon card that is coming out. Victini. Victini has always been one about coin flips, because everyone loves the coin flip Victini, where it lets you basically flip the coin again if the first time you attacked and you got, like, let's say tails or something you didn't want. Victini says, hey, go ahead and just flip again and see what you get. So the theme still follows, because it's got a extremely crazy attack that is going to be more for the late game. So this is kind of like the surprise, like, hey, you know, I'm low on prize cards, or I'm losing here. Let me throw out this Victini, power him up, and then just surprise my opponent with this huge attack. Now, at first it doesn't seem like anything too crazy, but let's analyze this a little bit. It's got 90 HP, which is gonna be irrelevant, really. Everything's gonna KO you in one shot. I wish it would be a little bit more. Maybe if you put a Fighting Fury about 130, but even then, that's kind of stretching it. There's not much else really you can do here. Now, it's got an attack that's for 2 energy, and powering up is actually not going to be that bad. You could technically max Elixir into a fire energy and then attach one for the turn, and then he's good to go. Just kind of switch him out to the active once you've done that. But you could also use counter energy. I mean, if you are behind on prize cards, you might as well just use counter energy to power him up, and that way you can take care of his attack that way. Now, his attack is pretty insane. It only says 20 times damage, and you would think, oh, well, it can't be that much. But being a Prism card, you have to think, Prism cards are going to be powerful, especially if you can only play one of that card in your deck. So let's read it. This attack does 20 damage times the number of basic energy cards in your discard pile, then shuffle those cards into your deck. You essentially, by the time you're behind on prizes and it's getting towards the end of the game, you probably have like 10 energy cards anyway in your discard. I mean, assuming this is fire we're talking about. Fire decks love to discard energy like crazy. You look at Turtonator, you have to discard, I believe, what is it, two fire energies to that? A lot of the Charizards, you have to discard like up to 3 energies for that. There's a lot of discarding that's going to happen. So getting that energy card amount in your discard pile is going to be fairly easy, especially as you get later and later into the game. So being able to surprise your opponent with this card, saying, hey, I'm about to do 200 damage, 230 with a choice band, you can't really stop me. It is a pretty powerful card. It's I think it's kind of like, that's, like I said, it's a surprise attack. It's kind of like, you know, Mimikyu uses Copycat, or Sudowoodo uses Mimic, or anything like that. It's along the same lines, where your opponent's really not going to expect it, and if you can pull it off, the prize trade is even worth it, because if you can KO someone like a GX card or EX card that's worth 2 prizes, and your opponent maybe then, you know, knocks out your Victini next, okay, so what? They only get 1 prize card. So this is actually a pretty neat little tech. It's going to go in any fire deck for sure. But if you're going to play counter energy with it, it can really go into any other type of deck. And it could be your fire tech. You know, you play a water deck, but then you want a fire tech to battle against the grass. Or if you play, oh, I don't know, a fighting deck, you know, and you're up against Golisopod, and you want to have that fire weakness. Well, play counter energy, Victini, there you go. It's taken care of. So there's a lot of good stuff, a lot of good potential with this Victini card, and I think it will see some play for sure. Because of how awkward it is, the two energy, I think kind of makes me want to not give it as high of a grade, because if it was for one, it'd be probably be an overpowered attack. I mean, it's not like it's only a one-time use. You can keep using this attack. So I understand the 2 energy because you take just like a second to build it up. But, I'd give it like a 3.5 out of 5 at least, at the very least. Like I said, it's definitely going to see some play. Now, our next card is a GX card, and a pretty sweet one. At first glance with the attacks, it's not all that great, but the GX attack is where it's going to shine the most. Oops, sorry about that. So, Reshiram GX, it is a fire Pokemon. It's got 180 HP, which is pretty standard, which is nice. You could beef it up to 220 with the Fighting Fury belt. Flame Charge for 1 fire, or at least 1 colorless energy, although I don't see why you would play this in any other deck but fire. Search your deck for 2 basic fire energy cards and attach them to this Pokemon, then shuffle your deck. If you are going, I say, first, but no, if you're going second and it's your first turn, this is actually a nice attack. You get to accelerate that energy right away, and when it comes time to your next attack, you're ready for that last energy attachment and to start attacking with the Reshiram. So overall, it's not that bad. I think, was it the Zygarde? The Zygarde GX had a similar attack, double colorless, and then you get to accelerate 2 fighting energy onto him. I think, though, that has to be from the discard. Either way, it's always nice to have that energy acceleration. Now, it's got an attack here for 4 energy. 3 of them have to be fire. Scorching Pillar. It does 110 damage. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now Burn. There's not a whole lot of great things about this attack. It's a little underwhelming, to be honest. So let's say you do put in a Choice Span. It's 140, but the Burn only puts in 20. So you're only doing 160 top, which is very short of any KO. I think the only GX you're going to KO is the Marsh Shadow, and then you do get your non-GXs and EXs, so like Greninja, or I don't know what else is 130. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay. I kind of wish it would do a little bit more damage. Now, you could combine it with the Infernape that came out in Ultra Prism, where your Burn, instead of doing 2 damage counters, does 6. And there, in that sense, then you can get that KO with Coco and Lele and all that, because it'll bring it up to 170, 200 with the Choice Span, but then you're kind of falling short of a KO for a Zoroark. So I don't know if you want to invest so much into building up the Infernape just to get, those kind of KOs, even though Zoroark is being played more than most other GXs. It's, like I said, it's a pretty standard attack. It's a little underwhelming. It could be better, but the main attraction of this card is the GX card, which is pretty insane. Before I even talk about the GX card, let me talk about the item card that was revealed as well, because this is going to go hand in hand. You'll see why. So we got a new item card, again for fire. It's a fire support card. It does, you have to discard 2 cards from your hand in order to play it. Okay, it's kind of, I don't like that cost, but you get to search your deck for up to 4 fire energy, reveal them, and then put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck. Okay, so it's essentially like Fisherman, only it's not a supporter, and instead of the discard, you get to pick it from your deck. Now, overall, that would seem great for Volcanion, because with Volcanion, then you can start doing steam ups like crazy. Just, play that 1 Flint card, and then you can just do 3-4 steam ups and do essentially 120, add 120 onto whatever Pokemon you're attacking with. That's fine. But this is where Reshiram GX actually kind of shines. So, going back to Reshiram, Vermilion GX, 180 damage. With a Choice Band, it's 210. So you're essentially one-shotting just about any GX card that's current, that's like, I guess relevant in the meta. You may attach up to 5 fire energy from your hand to your Pokemon in any way you like. Okay, so here's the combo, because this is going to be the best partner to Ho-Oh. You Kiawe your Reshiram. Now Kiawe is a supporter card where you get to draw, or you get to bring 4 fire energy from your deck and put it onto your fire Pokemon. You Kiawe turn 1 onto this Reshiram. On your next turn, you Vermilion. Oh, sorry. See, I'm skipping. On your next turn, you play Flint. Okay, so now you have those 4 fire energies into your hand. You hopefully at this point will also be able to get a Ho-Oh GX onto your bench. And you Vermilion GX, you do the 180, maybe knock out a Lele. Or maybe put a Choice Band on there. You knocked out a Zoroark GX. Fine, you got 2 prizes. Then with that GX attack, those 4 fire energies you just had in your hand, go ahead and lay them down on Ho-Oh. And now you have a fully charged up Ho-Oh that's ready to KO another Pokemon once Vermilion GX is knocked out. So your Ho-Oh does 180 damage, and with a Choice Band it's 210. So you could essentially knock out another GX with that Ho-Oh. Now if your opponent doesn't knock out Reshiram, that's fine, because you can still use Scorching Pillar and keep attacking with Reshiram until he gets knocked out, but you have the assurance that at least your Ho-Oh is fully charged up and you don't have to wait so many turns to build it up. Because the thing with fire Pokemon is that they have high energy cost, and just accelerating energy like this is just crazy. Now, yes, Kiawe does end your turn, which is why essentially you want to do that turn 1. And yes, Ho-Oh, you have to somehow reset it for the following turn so you can attack again, because once you use, I think it's called Phoenix Burn or something like that, you can't use it again on the next turn, or your Pokemon can't attack. So you do the whole, Dawn Wings Necrozma invasion and then retreat back into the Ho-Oh effect. But, I mean, essentially you could just be running, 3 Reshirams, 3 Ho-Ohs, or maybe 4 Ho-Ohs, 2 Reshirams. I think the 3 and 3 split is probably more ideal. And then a couple of Dawn Wings Necrozmas, and then you essentially just have a powerhouse. I mean, that you can't just get any crazier than that. So I'm really excited to see what players bring to the table with fire Pokemon now that they have this GX attack they can accelerate energy with, and combo with the Flint card, and then still have Ho-Oh relevant in the format for quite a while, because I believe he came out on Burning Shadows, so he's going to be sticking around for a couple years. So yeah, it's a lot of good fire support there, and like I said, it makes me kind of want to play fire though. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want to play fire just because of that. It is a cool looking art to it too on the card. It is weak to water, and that might be a problem, but then you have Ho-Oh that's only weak to lightning, so at least that's what's great about those two, is that they kind of cover each other's weaknesses. If you're not going to fight with Reshiram, you can at least fight with Ho-Oh, and you just have that reassurance of having that backup there. So overall, very great cards. Reshiram, I'd probably give it a 4 out of 5. That Flint card, I'd probably give it a 4 out of 5 as well. Like I said, really excited to see what the combos that come out of this. And yeah, that's going to be pretty much it for at least this video. Please let me know your thoughts, what you guys think. Whether, I don't know, maybe you saw some other sort of strategy behind this, or you think that fire Pokemon are just kind of overrated and should just be done and over with. Or, maybe you don't think this is as great as it seems. Maybe I'm kind of overhyping it a little bit. I don't know. But these are just what my first thoughts are of these cards, and I think they're all great, including that Victini card. So that's going to be pretty much it, guys. Please like, subscribe, do what you got to do, and I will see you all in the next video.